It was the night of November 22nd, 1999, and everyone was waiting for a miracle. She waited just enough time not to be a Scorpio and came into this world. She got named Kate, now calling herself Kate and making a Draw My Life video with drawing skills not up to her level. The only other big thing that happened to me in the last century was getting a toy bear called Kitex, and he's pretty much been my companion for life. In the first years of my life, I was already shaping to be who I am now, reading, painting, making up weird words and phrases that could indicate my writer or poet potential, and are still legendary in my family. I was spending a lot of time in the countryside. I actually had 2 of them, with vast expanses and a lot of animals, and I guess I wouldn't have it any other way. Then it was time to go to kindergarten. I was shocked that I would have to attend more than one day, and my very first memory ever is watching my parents leave while crying and clutching Kitex. In the 5th year of my life, my younger sister Lotte arrived. Turns out I had loved that only child life. In one video I sigh and disappear under the table when asked about her. But later I realized how great it is to be an older sibling, and truth is, she's kind of always been my best friend. In the span of 1 year, I had 2 operations. One was for adenoids, and the other because I broke my arm. I had to live up to being Sagittarius. There was this tragedy tale that fell on me while I was looking for adventures, and it was pretty scary. I also can't shut up about it. I could not wait for school. My doctor did suggest maybe I should wait a year, because I wasn't 7 yet, but nah. Who knows how I would have turned out then. The size of the letters is totally accurate. I was always a good student and strove for those good grades. In the first year, I started going to folk dancing. I swear there were a few tears there too, and not the good kind. My favorite after-school activity was art school. Yes, there were also tears, but they were rewarding. We had plenary sessions in the summers, 2 times camp style, and that was a lot of fun. Especially sleeping cramped together in one little room because the rest of the students were throwing up. Friends. I have always had a weird relationship with this word and this concept. Growing up, I had a few I could call best friends, but they never stuck, and although it is sad, I didn't care all that much. But then again, I've always wished for this one great person to come and claim me. Ever since the 3rd grade, I have participated in Olympiads, or whatever you call them, in many subjects. The first strong memory that I have is of a drawing Olympiad's terrible results, and our teacher not understanding where our creativity went. A big event was the Latvian School Youth Song and Dance Festival after the 4th grade, which was the first time away from home. Sleeping in the same room with like 20 people, waking up early, dancing in the rain and the heat, but it was worth it in the end. I kept dancing for a year, but then I labeled it the worst activity. I would say around 5th and 6th grade I had the worst hair and general style. I don't want to think about it. Then we had the option to move to a gymnasium, the land of smart people and big opportunities, and obviously I had to go. There was no question. It was around that time I was pretty much the worst version of myself. I started writing in my notes, which is hard to read now. In 7th grade, I remember having success in the patriotic writing contest and getting a not-so-fair 1 out of 10 in household economics. Yay! I had this friend who was kind of my best friend, but never really fully, at least for me. And then I guess I did or said something, I still don't know, and she stopped talking to me. At that time, we were both finishing art school, so we talked a bit, and then we didn't ever. Anyway, I started caring about music only in 2013, and ever since then the Script has been my favorite band. You might have seen If You Could See Me Now written on my wall, and that's because it was the song that opened the world of music for me. And now finally, after 7 years, I will see the Script live. Talking about obsessions, I have had quite a few. The movie Cars, don't ask, Harry Potter, a Latvian singing contest talk at the Skatter, and as a teenager, obviously the Hunger Games. In 8th grade, my class was part of an exchange program, and we all went to Denmark, specifically an island closer to Sweden called Bornholm. It was a very cool project. I stayed with the family, got to know the school and the island, and overall had a lot of fun, especially when we went back by a small ferry in a storm, and I think you get what I'm saying. I have a special relationship with throwing up, okay? Next semester it was the Danes who visited us, and we did the same thing, just here. It wasn't as great, but I did try out being a princess, so bow to me. And then my Danish partner unfriended me, and I never spoke to any of them again. Next there was another big obsession. The Fault in Our Stars, who would have guessed? Everything was about it. The quotes, the music, still the best, and Amsterdam. And you know where I'm seeing the script next year? Hell yeah, it's all coming together. It was around that time I worked on some fantastic movie maker edits. One of them actually ended up on my favorite Latvian show, Gudraks, which is totally out of nowhere, but beautiful. I still kept writing and did an additional year in art school, working with graphic design. Then I was teased wearing a hipster sweater, liking the script, and some more stuff. Fun times. But don't fear, I went to my first ever big concert, which was OneRepublic, and I think it's still the best concert I've been to. They also got a retweet from them, so it's a night I'll never forget. Then something weird started happening. I was totally obsessed with this one girl I found on the internet, and there was another one in real life I cared about for some reason. My first note regarding the matter reads this: I'm not sure if I'm straight. Well, no So 2 days later I decided that I was bisexual. I finished 9th grade and immediately submitted my documents in the same school. I did think about going to the capital to already study a profession, but honestly, thank God that I didn't. I still needed time. In the summer I attended my first Positivus, and later I got in the choir, even though I was the actual worst singer, but I had some of the best times because of it, so I still appreciate it a lot. Half a year later I realized I had not been truly honest with myself, and said no dudes for me anymore, thanks. The 10th and the 11th grade was the most depressing period for me. I was just not having it, and my grades plummeted. On the other hand, there were a lot of people online that I connected to that cheered me up and made me feel like I belonged. Shout out to the Script family, the Baltic, more like Latvian actually, Click, and all the others who I could talk to about even the scariest stuff. Another orientation update. I found another word that fit me, which was asexual, meaning not attracted to anyone sexually. And ever since, I have identified as an asexual lesbian, so that's that. And then I just kept living in a cloud of bad grades and good girls, although one of them did make me want to try more. My 17th birthday came, and it's like the most insignificant age, but it was kind of the best one. I remember a lot of good words from my Twitter mutuals, and I earned one cool one as well. The script. I did not even ask for anything like that. That year I also sent a ton of nice Christmas messages, which made me feel better. ZPD. 3 letters, but so much stress. We had to do a scientific research work, and my topic was about internet personalities, with a focus on YouTubers, and look where we are now, with 34 whole subscribers. When that was done, it was time to get away. And where better than America the Great? Yes, in many ways it is not good, but the trip was the best. It was my first time flying, and I loved it. We traveled to San Francisco, which is a special place in my heart, through 4 states with sun and a clear blue sky, seeing mountains and canyons, one of them grand, and I never wanted to go home. But we had to, and we did. I suppose that my life started to improve from then on, and I started to think about my future. I wasn't keen on staying in Latvia, so my mom suggested Estonia, and I found a cross-media program and stayed true to it. My last year of high school was the best one. We were required to write a president's speech for the Independence Day, and I was annoyed, but through good ideas and a rainbow metaphor, I got invited to the president's castle. I was not in fact in the top 10, but seeing the people from Val collided and cared was more rewarding, to be honest. I was on a roll. I got first place in the local English Olympiad and got sent to the country level for the first time. Thankfully, it was a writing task about comparing a book and 2 films, so to the last level I went. Unfortunately, there I had to speak, but 3rd place is still great. We did a theater performance, took some exams, and graduated. I'm not in contact with any of my former classmates, but I think I always felt I was a part of a cool class. First thing I did after that? Make a video. It was scary at first, but a few people liked it, and some didn't. I got into both unis I applied to, but I still desired Tallinn, so I went there. Dorm life wasn't for me, and it seemed that nothing besides writing is for me, but I held on. We had another trip that washed me over with a warm wave, and I was back to trying my hardest. We started our big project with the best team and I didn't miss a lecture. In the summer, a bunch of film people said, "Bro, let's make a movie." And I replied with, "Yeah, totes." And I was a part of a big Hollywood production. Yes, I am still going to make a video about it when the movie comes out. And here we are. I turned 20, which is crazy because I'm not 20. And it's 2020 in a few days. Yeah, no. But it's all good. I mean, not all. There's tons of problems every day, but I think you get it. So like, subscribe, and all that jazz. And of course, have a wonderful day. And a decade. Okay, I'll go.